Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch a Movie. I'm Mike, he's Jay, that's Dan. 28 weeks later, not 28 months later, 28 days later, 28 years later, 28 weeks later. You've only got 4 sequels you can make, because when you get to years, you run out of time.
Well, they could
28 decades later, that's too far futuristic. Lots of money.
They could do 28.
Costs too much money.
It doesn't cost too much money unless you ask.
You gotta have flying cars and then zombies that have
Fly.
iPhones.
They're all zombies that have iPhones.
Oh, if you don't have an iPhone. You don't have an iPhone.
I have a Pantech.
There's a man going round taking names, and he decides who to free and who to blame. Everybody won't be treated all the same. There'll be a golden ladder reaching down when the man comes around.
This is 28 weeks later, guys. This is the sequel to the great 28 Days Later that I gave a 10.0 to, Jay gave a 7.5 to, and this is a sequel that looks like the original, it feels like the original, but it's not the original. It's directed by a different director. Danny Boyle did not come back for this one, but they have some of the same ideas, some of the same looks or whatever. What this one's about is there's this guy, he's with his wife, they're in a cabin in the middle of nowhere, they're trying to survive this zombie apocalypse. And then a bunch of shit goes wrong, shit goes haywire, and this is a spoiler review, by the way.
Yeah.
His wife gets killed partially because of him. He goes back, and they've got things set up now. Like, London's got shit set up because American NATO forces came in, took some shit over. They set up these base camps, and they're clearing it out. The zombies have died off now, apparently, and they're starting to restart civilization in these base camps. And what they've done is, the father goes back, and his children come to him, and he, tells them a lie about his wife, and then all of a sudden, the zombie apocalypse, not zombies, we know, it's an infection technically, picks back up because of issues that happen, and here we are in the same situation.
Well, you left out the most important ingredient.
The military.
No, the military. I was going to say you left out pepper, but no. The most important ingredient was the fact that there's a cure. And they found a cure, and they know that they can at least cause an immunity to the virus or whatever.
It's an imperfect place.
Well, fucking research the movie. Drink your.
We should even have a camera.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't have yelled at you. But anyway, so yeah, this also Jeremy Renner was in this. He's badass. I mean, he always likes to play those military kind of guys, and he always does a great job at it.
His haircut, it's perfect for it.
Yeah, I love this movie. Honestly, I really did. I liked it a little bit better than 28 Days Later. And
What?
Yeah, I did. Because I love the scope of it. I think the scope is much bigger. They have more money to play around with special effects. Because I guess maybe with 28 Days Later, they didn't really know how it was going to work, so they didn't have that much money to play with. I mean, they had a pretty good amount of money to do the cinematography effects that he did in this, but in 20 weeks later, they have a lot more special effects going on. They have this bigger, wider scope of a story going on. You got the whole streets of London, you got these explosions and stuff. It's a lot more action-oriented, which I liked. The bad guy in this, well, technically the bad guy, whatever you would call him in it, the father of the children, he really expresses, like, what do you do in that situation? You fly or you fight. Like when
he flight it hard, dude.
I know. He sees his wife getting eat up, and he's like, "Well, I'll fucking see you later." I mean, he didn't even try. He was like, "No, I can't really do it." But he's a good. I mean, you don't like him in the movie, and you don't like him at all as a person in the movie. But that's why I'm saying he does such a good job.
I understand his character to a point, but at the same time, I have faith in humanity, and I feel like you've got the asshole character who might do something like that. But I mean, he looks straight up at his wife, and I mean, he has a chance. First off, he's like, leave the kid, fuck that little kid or whatever. And then that was one thing, and then he could clearly have helped or done something. And he was just like, I mean, immediately the second he faced a choice, save my wife or run. He just booked it out of there, and then he got another chance to save her. She's at the window. She's like, I'm still okay.
She was fucked. I mean, if you're that far away and you see her,
he didn't even try, man.
Well, to use your own words, the world's an imperfect place. So I mean, that's what happens.
No, you say
you have faith in humanity, but this is the point this is really when the nitty gritty happens. Like either you're gonna it's out for your own survival, or you're gonna help other people and you're gonna die. And then 28 days later, do you remember the chick said, "You can't worry about other people." I know she changes later in the film, but she said, "If you worry about other people, you'll die." And even though it's his wife and he did a shitty thing, I mean, I love that people would sit there and say, I want to do the right thing and I'd be valiant and I'd be like chivalrous. But really,
a lot of us would run. But
I wouldn't.
I like to think
I would just be like, maybe I wouldn't.
I would like to think that I would try to save my wife in that situation, but not just that. But that just irks me that they make him the main focal point of the movie for most of the part, and it's just like you gotta have somebody to root for. I could not root for that guy. He pissed me off.
Well, you couldn't. I mean, I don't think he was ever meant to be.
And granted, I'll give you. I'll play devil's advocate to you. Well, that doesn't make any sense. I'll agree with you.
I'll be Keanu Reeves.
Small little part. I'll agree with you that his daughter even said when he told him,
Yeah.
she was like, "I'm just glad that you're okay."
Well, the thing with him, he was a bad guy, and most people probably don't remember this. But the SGU, Stargate Universe, he was the bad guy in that kind of Dr. Rush. And this guy, he's always got that like weaselly attitude about him in everything I've ever seen him in. And I think he played that part perfectly in this movie. That this weaselly guy that wants to survive, but he's also doing it. I mean, I'm not trying to defend him, but I am in a way. He had 2 kids,
Yeah.
and he's going to take the chance to save his wife. They both get killed, and then their kids are alone.
Yeah, I get that. I do get that.
So he had to have some kind of motivation. I'm not saying that he did it for that. I mean, he might later justify it to himself, saying, "I have kids," but it was basically like, I would have made an effort to go after my wife, maybe, but I would have taken one step and be like, "All right, well, fuck it." I was like, "I'm sorry."
Don't let her watch this.
Don't watch it. I love you, but I'm just saying, at that point, like I said, everybody wants to has an idea of themselves, like I'm going to be valiant. But really, when that shit happens, when the shit hits the fan,
But the thing, man, I get what they're trying to say. I get what they're trying to say. They're trying to be realistic and shit like that.
Yeah.
But that was the beginning of the movie. That was the anchor of the movie. And to base the entire movie on that, it just made me lose interest.
But you know what? They actually did something pretty cool, because if you remember, in 28 Days Later, Cillian Murphy goes back to save them.
Yeah.
But they're not being eaten up by zombies or whatever. But it's kind of like such a contrast now, because Cillian Murphy's like,
Now that's my carpet.
Well,
You
there was
ruined
beer
it.
in that
You
one.
ruined my carpet. You spit wine all over to the bay last time at summertime party, and then this happens.
Beer.
Fuck it, shit.
beer is fun.
Yeah, but no.
But I'm saying, like, let me.
Don't you? But yeah, but no above me. I already triple down
No,
double stamp.
you can't double stamp it.
Whatever.
But I was just going to say, Cillian Murphy goes back and saves those people. It's just a stark contrast to what he was doing in this movie. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it was a rarity with Cillian Murphy in this kind of post-apocalyptic movie to be the hero. I mean, you always got to have a hero in a post-apocalyptic movie. I get that. And there's always going to be that 1 or 2 guys that are going to be like rise above what's going on and still maintain their humanity. But reality check. I mean, this guy is like probably a lot more like other people than you think. How they would be in a real life post-apocalyptic.
I see what you're saying, and I see what they're trying to do there. But take a sub actor, take an actor that's like the second or third or fourth even guy in the movie, the main guy in the movie, who's a good guy through the whole movie, and then all of a sudden he gets faced with a situation and does the wrong thing. I think that tells the same exact story, but you don't have to anchor your whole movie off of this panini.
Well, they really
who
did.
runs away and lets his wife die.
It wasn't anchored off him, man. He was just a small little subplot of the actual main plot.
Not really.
Yeah, because the main plot was the girl that his wife actually had the antidote to the immunity.
Yeah, but I mean, so they go back or whatever, and I did like the whole idea of the setup, what they were doing there.
Yeah.
But it's also weird. It's like, oh, okay, all the zombies are gone. You guys are still locked in this thing, and the kids go back and they escape, and then shit goes crazy. But what I did love Jeremy Renner's character as the military
Sniper.
person who had a conscience, who was actually a decent guy.
Yeah.
And Idris Elba's in this. He's in this.
Yeah.
The chick from X-Men First Class is in this, and the wife Jackie Q and Get Him to the Greek was in that. That lady. It had an amazing cast. Like whoever is the casting person of this movie,
They do a great
fucking job. You saw shit ahead of the future. These are all actors who are way bigger now, who were nobodies when this movie came out.
I know, it's like St. Elmo's Fire. How did you do that? It's like when they cast St. Elmo's Fire, they had the greatest fucking cast of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I didn't understand is like when they get in there and it says American-led NATO forces come in and they help whatever. Where's the British military? They all couldn't have been decimated.
Yeah.
I mean, they said that London and stuff was evacuated on the outside of everything. Where
How
are
bad
they?
do you think that pissed off the Brits?
Oh my God! I mean,
Like,
British people-
America's gotta fucking save us. Ricky
But if it was real, though, the Americans would be like, it's like motherfuckers need our help. It's like American Revolutionary War. No, I'm not-
Royale
just kidding.
with cheese.
It's way over now. It's over. Too soon? But yeah, so I just always wondered where the British military is. It's not like they have a small army. They at least has a few. I was assuming they'd have at least a few. But anyway, so of course it's going to happen. They have this really nice contained area. They've cleared off. It's the green zone, and it's safe. And
She
they've
goes
got-
cray cray.
yeah, but I think, and then they have to launch Code Red, and they all drink Mountain Dew. But so because there's a zombie outbreak, because they rescue the guy's wife, where he thought, so they tell the guy, the main guy in this, I can't remember his name. I just want to fucking know his name.
I don't remember his name. Just
Okay, the main guy in this, the guy that abandoned his wife, they tell him, "We found your wife," and at that moment he's like, "Fuck."
he had a normal face, but he shit a little bit in his pants.
Yeah, and he's like, God, what the bitch say? What's she saying? It's all a lie. But he goes and sees her, and she kisses him, but she's still carrying the virus in her, but she's immune to it at a certain degree. And he gets infected, and when he gets infected, it goes everywhere. All of a sudden, and he rips his wife apart. That part always fucking I was like, that probably was one of the scariest. You're strapped into a thing, and you can't do anything, and he rips her
It's
throat
like
out.
that shit at the crazies where he's walking around with pitchforks just stabbing people.
I know, but and then all of a sudden, Idris Elba is like, the general of the base. He's like, Code Red.
Yeah.
And they basically mean
It's on, bitches.
broken arrow. We got a broken arrow.
We're canceling the apocalypse.
Yeah, it's like, it's done. We're done. We're gonna fucking kill everybody now. It doesn't matter if you're infected or not, you all gonna die. And Idris Elba hasn't made that decision, and I get that. But I just think it's funny that they say Code Red. I mean, I would be funny, it's like, Code Red, and then you see people like cracking up a Mountain Dew, and they start drinking.
Did you open the Code Red against San Diego?
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry. It's on Arctic Rush.
You need me on that wall. But yeah, and then so it breaks out into the streets or wherever, and Jeremy Renner protecting them was a really cool part, I thought. When he's trying to protect those couple of people, and he's running through the streets or whatever, that was cool, and then he died, and that sucked.
Well, see, but the cool thing about this is I like that it really wasn't. The zombies are like still the bad guys in this, obviously, but it's also the American military are the bad guys because they're like literally hunting these people down. It doesn't matter if you're infected or not. They're gonna kill your ass. And that scene when Jeremy Renner got burned up was badass. Like when he got out, he's like, pop the clutch when I tell you. And just get him to the helicopter. And he pushes the fucking thing, and you see his ass catch on fire. And there was, by the way, there was a comment somewhere, not in our video, but somewhere else that said, so is Jeremy Renner alive? It's like, no. He got fucking torched. He's not alive. There's no way he survived that. But it sucked he did die. He always gets the shaft, too.
Yeah, and then the last thing I'll say that I want to that really stood out to me was the night vision scene at the stadium.
Oh, God, that was scary.
Badass. That was really scary. That was really well done.
And it was also, this was a spoiler review, the girl's brother, which is the son of the asshole guy, he's also got immunity to the virus because he gets bit and he's fine.
It's a whole new thing.
It's the red and brown eyes or green and brown or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's some kind of genetics.
Ultimately, I think this was a decent sequel to me. What was my favorite zombie movie of all time? I thought it was a decent sequel. It didn't do for me what the first movie did. It didn't have that flair, that stylistic stuff. It didn't have the cool stuff. It had some cool stuff with the night vision stuff and things like that. But ultimately, I think you set it off on the wrong tone. I didn't care as much about the characters. It wasn't original as the first one, and the story was for me. You like the wide scopiness.
I love it.
I didn't like it. I like that we could focus on a couple people and really follow their story. This went too wide for me. So I mean, ultimately, but it was a really good movie. It had some really cool parts in it. As a standalone movie, it's really good. I give it a 7.5.
I'm gonna give this movie an 8.0. I like this better than 28 Days Later, but only because I am more of a wider scope guy. I play Call of Duty. Okay, I play Call of Duty. I like to see these scenes when the army are fighting the zombies and they're doing all this crazy shit and it's just this wide thing that's happening. I like that they took a huge scope and they said we're going to show the story in that way, and I love that. I actually like Jeremy Renner's character. Yeah, you maybe don't have like one specific character you're going to root for, and that's fine. I got that.
I did like his character a lot.
But to me, it was a lot more fun. It was a lot more energetic. It was a lot more things happening, and it was action, and there was stuff going on. People would say it was an action-oriented.
It's more of a
movie.
popcorn movie than the first, by far.
But I still loved it. I think it's a great movie. I think they did a pretty good job with it. I mean, yeah, the 28 Days Later was a hard movie to follow up on because of the originality. I mean, it's hard for any sequel to be as good as the first or surpasses it. And maybe I'm in the minority. I probably am. But I still like this movie overall better than 28 Days Later.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
What do you think, Sam?
I think you're fucking crazy.
I think you're fucking
But
crazy.
I'll give you that. Yeah.
Where are your Wranglers?
Question of the day. Where are your Wranglers? Question of the day. What is your favorite zombie sequel?
Are you sure we never asked that one?
Zombie sequel? Particularly? Yeah, I'm pretty damn sure.
I think we have.
Pretty specific.
No, I think we have asked
Never
that
have
one.
asked that question.
Yep.
I know
we've
for a
asked,
fact.
we've asked, you know, I have
Don't
like
question
400
me.
videos.
Don't question me.
Okay, well, that's fine. Or what's your favorite zombie sequel? That's fine, too. I don't know. I don't really... Well, I do have one.
Believe it. What is it?
What was Day of the Dead? That's my favorite zombie sequel, even though that's like a trequel.
Well, let's ask a different question then. So I can edit that whole come the fuck out.
Okay,
What?
what's your favorite pair of pants that you've ever worn?
Yeah, so what's your favorite Jeremy Renner movie? I mean, what's your favorite role that Jeremy Renner's ever done, since he's a specific guy in this movie? Mine would definitely be probably always The Hurt Locker, followed by The Town. But The Hurt Locker was fucking amazing. He was total Mel Gibson, Lethal Weapon 1, badass.
I'll probably have to go with The Hurt Locker, too. Like, he really showcased the shit in that one, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
I also like Hansel and Gretel, though. I really did like that movie. I didn't like it as much as the second time around, but whatever. So, that's it.
He's Jay, I'm Mike, and we'll see you next time on Candy Makes You Dandy.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie.